What is going on, everybody? Wally here with some second assault footage on my favorite map, Gulf of Oman. This is definitely a map that I put a lot of time in Battlefield 3. Definitely really enjoying it with Battlefield 4. The Sandstorm is a nice touch, not gonna lie. The entire game mode, now that we have 64-man servers, at least on the console side, it's just a lot of fun. As you'll see right here, this is just the beginning clip. I'll run into about an army, myself and Rame. We'll end up losing the tank, but we definitely run into a lot of guys. So we just decided that we're just going to hold the line for as long as possible and just try to mop up as many people as we can. Now this video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to kind of be a little bit of infantry tips and tricks. I think I'm going to start another series. I used to do one back in BC2 where I would do tank tips and tricks, and I really didn't delve into infantry or any of the aerial aspects of the game. But since I feel a little bit more experienced now with how the mechanics work for at least both air vehicles and infantry gameplay as well as tanks, I feel like I could get a good grasp on doing everything. Now, just as a forewarning, this is just my opinion on how the game is meant to be played in a sense that you can do successful. It may not work for everyone, but it definitely works for me most of the time. If anyone's come in and watched my live stream or seen any of my other videos, generally I'll take footage out from a few separate maps and then put them all together, put all the cool moments together, and generally I'll edit out the deaths just so you guys don't look at any kind of filler time. But most of the time what you see is what you get, and I'll record basically whenever I'm not streaming. Not all the time, but most of my footage I would say is just basic, straight just ground gameplay. I want to say 90% of it's ground gameplay, and then a few times I'll get in tanks here or there, but normally don't really get in tanks that much. I really am enjoying the attack vehicle, the attack jets, the attack boats. Those things are awesome to get into, especially in bigger conquest games. Now here what you're seeing is domination on Hanoi. I believe that's how the map is pronounced. I know I mispronounced the map last time I did the videos. But I don't really look at the map. I just enjoy myself playing. I play video games to shoot people. And basically what I'm running here is the PP2000, the Engineer PDW with a red dot, no muzzle, and I believe I'm running the laser light combo, but I'm pretty sure I switch it to a laser sight because I have no idea how that laser light combo works. But basically, I'll get into it. The general consensus for infantry play, now you may not want to hear this from me, but if you are looking to get better, I can give you some advice. It may not work for you, but like I said, it works for me. But basically, what I've learned with infantry play is that there's two different styles, really. There's a more passive, aggressive kind of style, which is the way I kind of like to play. And then there's a very aggressive, in-your-face kind of style, which is not something I usually emulate in my gameplays. But basically, the way I play is I kind of play a little bit back most of the time, and then I'll push in onto a flag. And I'll generally try to play the outskirts for as much as possible. It's basic FPS strategy that anytime you're playing in a small map domination like this, your best bet is to play the outskirts of the map and not go through the middle. Generally, if you look at map overlays, anything like that, if you have a map in front of you of the game, take Hanoi, most of your jets are going to occur on the flags and, of course, in the middle of the map. So what I've learned through my many hours of putting time into FPSs is that your best bet is to really honestly just play the outskirts and play to cover. This isn't really a cover-based shooter, but if you treat it like one, you'll do much better. There are a lot of head glitches in this game, and a lot of I guess cover areas that you can take advantage of. The peeking system is nice, but I don't find myself using it that much. I feel like it takes way too much time to get that perfect angle on the wall so that you can peek the corner. Medal of Honor kind of had the same system in a sense where you would kind of like go up and stick to cover and then peek across. And while it worked, it still feels weird. I don't know. I always strafe when I'm playing. I never am not aiming and staying in a solid point. I'm always strafing every single time. So whenever I play, I always have a hard time like sticking to cover. Whenever I'm behind cover, I'll just do like a little circle basically. I'll do mini circles. But the general consensus is that if you want to generally do better, you want to kind of play the outskirts of a map. Not like the super deep outskirts like this Recon's doing right now. That's a little too much. But in a sense, like when you move from flag to flag, don't run right down the middle. Run around. If you can get height advantage, don't get height advantage. But use it within moderation. There's a lot of players out there that play defuse and competitive game types, and they'll do the same thing every single time. And if you listen to Triggs or any of the people that stream and play with, they'll tell you certain things that pretty much give away what a player is going to do. There's a lot of players that are very predictable, and what you want to be is unpredictable. You don't want the player to like read you like a book, as it is said. you want to be confusing. You want to go, where did that guy go? You want to hear the comment, that guy just Houdini'd me, which I have said in the past, and a lot of people on the team that I play with have said. And that generally happens. A lot of good players, or just randoms in general, will make a play that is not what you expect. You don't expect to see them. Now, this guy should have known that I was coming around behind them, but in certain situations, your best bet is to try to just get around behind somebody, look for better cover. I play pretty aggressive, and like I said, this kind of style will not fly in a scrim, especially a 5v5 defuse scrim. It just requires a little bit more of a passive game type. But as you can see here, I'm kind of playing the outskirts around the flag. I kind of know the spawn points of the flag. Generally, when you have them triple cap, or when you keep them onto one flag, they're most definitely going to spawn on that side of the flag that they own. However, if they're triple capped and say you just capped a flag, they're either going to spawn deep on the other side of the map, or they're going to spawn over by pools. And that's another thing too, you got to understand the map spawns, at least for certain flags, and in domination especially, you can in a sense control the spawns. So if you have a good idea of where they're going to spawn, you start heading over there and set up, you're going to either A, know exactly where they're coming from, or have a good idea where they're coming from, and B, look in positions where you think the enemy might be playing. And that's generally what I do most of the time when I'm playing. I'm always just checking spawns just to make sure. Even if we have the flag and we just cleared the spawn, you never know. There might be a straggler, there might be some random rat hanging out in the bushes waiting to get his buddies to spawn on him. So it's a general consensus just to play the outskirts of the map. Now that was a poor play on my part, and I think anyone can see that generally that's not what you're supposed to do. I pretty much just broke my golden rule where I ran right into the middle of the flag. I'm not saying it's a tried and true strategy. I mean, most of the time I try to play it, but generally you won't see me running straight in the middle of maps. Always play the outskirts, and it's just a better way to play in my opinion. If you want to do better, I think this is one of the best ways to do it. There's a lot of FPS players out there, and a lot of commentators, and a lot of pro players that will tell you pretty much all the same thing, that the fundamentals lie within a few things. Map knowledge, the way you play, and when to be aggressive and when not to be aggressive. There's a lot of players out there, especially who play in scrims, that are always aggressive or always passive. You need to be able to do both. So basically, that's beginning infantry tips and tricks. I'm most definitely going to make this into a series. I know the thing a lot of people are going to be interested in seeing is the tank one, and I definitely I've got footage for it. I just need to work on a few things. But as I've said in the past, this is just my opinion. This isn't a perfect way to play the game. It's just the way I play it. And if you're interested in possibly playing better, maybe you can see some things here, or even offer me advice. As far as it goes, I'm really enjoying this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll have some more footage for you hopefully later this week, but that'll pretty much do it for me. Hope you guys are enjoying Battlefield 4 as much as I am, and if you aren't, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry, yo. Real. I love you all. That'll pretty much do it. I'm out. Peace.